Hi everyone. So it's been brought to my attention that my previous peanut butter and jelly tutorial has now become obsolete with the advent of the new update for jelly, which instead of putting it in a squeeze bottle, it puts it in a glass jar. Now this is definitely a setback, but it's something that we've actually been expecting. So we do have an updated tutorial for you. So I'm happy to bring this to you. But first of all, let's go over materials, what you'll need. You're going to need bread, a knife, a plate. You're going to want 3 napkins for the making of the peanut butter. You might want extra for when you eat it. You're going to need your new updated jelly. You're going to need some peanut butter as well. Now, I should add that this tutorial also works with strawberry jelly. I'm not sure about other types or like preserves or jams or whatever, but it does work with both grape and strawberry jelly. The previous one we weren't totally sure, but this one we do know that it works with both grape and strawberry jelly. So let's get started. What you're going to do, you're going to take 2 pieces of your bread. I highly recommend actually keeping your bread refrigerated, especially if you live alone, because it really helps add to the life of it, and it doesn't expire, so you don't end up throwing away half a loaf of bread. But yeah, the only downside to that is the bottom tends to get a bit stale and hard, but that's, who cares? I mean, I'm not going to buy a whole other loaf of bread. But okay, so we're going to put our bread face up like this. Now, since this tutorial, it's not a huge deal whether you use peanut butter or jelly first, but going with the spirit and what I usually do, I'm going to use peanut butter first. Actually, you know what? I'm actually going to take back what I said. It might be more important to use jelly first, and you'll see why in a second. So this is actually my first time cracking this open. See? So I'm going to kind of stir this around as best I can. It's kind of hard because I keep my fridge very cold. In fact, I've had some things freeze in there before, so it's probably too cold. Alright, so I'm just going to try to get some of this jelly out as best I can. Okay. Well, this isn't super easy. So I guess if I was to tell somebody how to do this, I would probably tell them to use a spoon to get the jelly out, but I'm trying to do it with as little utensils as possible, just because we're already using a lot of materials for this tutorial. So see, that this is honestly why I prefer the squeeze bottle, because it's just so much easier to get out, and it seems easier to spread too. But you know, I mean, I'm not gonna get all upset with with the people making the jelly just because of that, because I mean they probably have a reason. Plus, glass is much better for the environment than plastic. So, all right, this is a good amount of jelly. It might be more than we need, but again, I like to use quite a bit of jelly. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm actually gonna cap off this jelly. Okay, so I'm actually going to wipe this down a bit because I got a little bit on my desk. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is you're going to take your napkin, your first napkin, and you're going to run it along the knife. And it's important that you don't have the napkin running along the serrated edge, because that'll tear up the napkin and get your knife like all papery. So you're going to do it over the dull edge, and you're going to go like this. See? No, it's totally clean. So this napkin can now be disposed of because there's really no reason to keep that. So we can move on to our peanut butter now. I'm running a bit low, so this might be a messier process than I would hope for, but I really try to conserve, so I'm not really too picky on this. So I'm going to get the peanut butter on the knife, and I'm going to spread it across the other piece of bread. Now, I have seen, especially in cases where the jelly comes in a squeeze bottle, I've seen people do the peanut butter first on one piece, and then squeeze the jelly over it on another piece. And that would be a very quick way to make a peanut butter and jelly, but I really don't think it gives the same results as it is to spread both of them thoroughly on each piece of bread. But say you're working at a restaurant where you have a peanut butter and jelly on the kids menu, that might be a good way to do it, especially if times and wait times are a very emphasized part of a very emphatic part of your job. For example, I used to work at a Panera Bread, and we had peanut butter and jelly on the kids menu, and it was they kept getting mad at me because I would put just too much time into it, so I had to kind of swallow my pride and make them the quick way. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna do the same thing to the knife that we did with the jelly. Now, peanut butter is a bit. I tend to think that the consistency of peanut butter makes it so it's not quite as easy to wipe off, but you should be able to still get it in one swipe. It's not as important this time anyway, because the only reason we're wiping down the knife now is to cut the bread into triangles as opposed to put our knife into another jar, which could end up contaminating it had we not wiped it thoroughly. So watch what I do here. I'm going to cut it into triangles, and then we're going to do a bunch of short cuts like this, and we're going to make sure we're kind of cutting down into the plate. That's very important. Alright. So look at our cross section, it looks pretty good. And this knife, when we're done with it, we can put everything away now. Cool, well I hope this tutorial helped any of you looking to make a peanut butter and jelly with the new updated jelly. If you have any questions, please comment, and my PR team will do its best on getting back to you. Otherwise, cool. My name is Chris. It's always a pleasure. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.